3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
So we want about 1 cup of juice, or literally just a squeeze.
So now, in your imagination, what is about to happen is real.
Thunderstorm with great big drops of rain, as you could really feel the water coming. It was so groovy, you can't believe how groovy it was. Look at this water hitting you, taking a shower.
And drag you into captivity for communist soldiers to betray your virtue and to destroy you. Many women have let America go down the drain. They wouldn't run around naked, but they allow their children to. Say, husband, we've got to have what the Joneses have. We've got to have what the Smiths have. And so the husband has to work 18 hours out of 24 in order to get what the Joneses have.
Good luck to you, Henry Phillips. You know, I was really nice to you, and you're a prick. You're a rude little prick. You know, you act like a... You know, you plopped down my meal like the Russians were in Santa Monica. You're an asshole. You ain't going no place in this business.
My fellow Californians, this is Ronald Reagan.
It's a Saturday night in Los Angeles, and in a moment or two, we're going to fill the airwaves with some very strange and interesting sounds.
Juveniles had no point to make whatsoever in their demonstration, in their getting together, other than they didn't want to obey the law. I don't care whether it's Sunset Strip or it's down on the beach. They're the same problem.
Piss off people that can't afford tickets but are going anyways, because that's what you do.
Help me.
Help me make it through the night, 'cause I am tired and alone. Help me make it through the night, 'cause I don't like myself anymore. I was asked to do this song at something called a quinceañera, which is I think it's 15-year-old birthday for a young lady. And even though they didn't understand what I was saying, they never wanted to see me again. I guess I'm just not interesting. I have no personality. I met some guy who had cancer, and he said he felt sorry for me. I'm always coming in last place and getting dirt kicked in my face, and I guess that's just the way it's meant to be. Help me make it through the night. You know what, let's do this as a sing-along, and we're gonna do other songs here, but on the count of 4, everybody. 2, 3, 4. Help me make it through the night, 'cause I am tired, 'cause I am tired and alone, and alone. That's beautiful. Help me make it through the night, 'cause I don't like myself, 'cause I don't like myself. You guys sound really beautiful. I'm not kidding. That's anymore. Hey, maybe we'll bring those lights back up again. I don't want to depress everybody here with the slow songs. Well, I was roving on the bog on a misty mountain morning when a cheeky lad jumped up and shouted, "Ho, top of the morning, row, ho, diddle-I-yay, in the musty Mountain Dew, my friend. Shave my belly with a rusty knife when I wake up in the morning. A bottle of rum and a fancy jig, and the road rise up to meet ye. Just put another shrimp on the Barbie, friend, and I'll be there to greet ye. Row, ho, diddle-I-yay, fancy free on the bonny bog. Whack all day in the valley-o, and I go home in the morning. Row, ho, skiddly-doo, a misty, musty morning, friend. Skittering about with a drunken whore, and I go home in the morning. Rolling on down to the bonny green with a bottle of Tullamore Dew, ya. Gallivanting far and wide and shouting top of the morning to ya. Row, ho, diddle-I-yay, whack the foal with the daddy-o, and a shin in a bucket with a drunken whore, and I go home in the morning. Row, ho, diddle-I-yay, misty Mountain Dew, my friend. Shave my willy with a rusty knife, and I wake up in the morning.
Testing the mic, 1, 2. Check, test, 1. 1, 2, check, test. Testing the mic. Help, 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 help. Checking the mic, 1, 2. Computer volume 10. Computer, play Long Way to the Top by AC/DC.
Look at Me Now, featuring Lil Wayne and Busta Rhymes by Chris
Computer,
Brown.
stop. Computer, stop. Computer, stop. That's not even close to the song that I asked for. The fuck? Computer, have you lost your mind?
I'm happy to hear how I can improve. You can always say, I have feedback.
Computer, I have feedback.
Sure, tell me what's on your mind.
If I ask for a song like AC/DC's Long Way to the Top, please don't play
Thanks
little...
for letting me know.
You're impossible. What the fuck? Computer, what time is it?
The time is 11 a.m.
Okay. Hello. Check. 1, 2. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Help. Anybody out there? Mayday. Roach Swallower says yes and yes. Okay. Google D's Nuts says hello. Hello right back to you, Google D's Nuts. Beanie Bo Beanie says Henry from Henry's Kitchen. Yes, that's right. This is Henry's Kitchen, the live stream. And we are, let's see here, today we're going to be making an incredible dish that I found on a website called themodestchef.com. This is The Modest Chef with 2 F's. Just a little intro here from the guy. It says here, and there's a picture of The Modest Chef. It says here, I have been making my own recipes since I was a child, and it should go without saying I've gotten damn good at it. Over the years, I have become such a badass when it comes to the art of putting together random ingredients found in the mundanity of the terrestrial world and alchemize them into flavors fit for the gods. And it says here, this is why my own personalized dipping sauce, which is what we're going to be making today, is quite simply a work of sublime creation. This is the modestchef.com. In fact, I wouldn't just call it the best dipping sauce on the internet. I would go as far as to call it the best thing on the internet, period. And that includes AI porn. So sit back and enjoy the privilege of being able to taste the explosion of flavors that come straight from my incredibly creative mind. I am the best chef that's ever walked this earth. I want to make it clear to people just tuning in, this isn't me talking. This is me reading from themodestchef.com. Captain Callis says, yeah, the Modest Chef is very confident, and confidence is a good thing in the kitchen. Okay, so we'll see. We'll see if it lives up to the hype. Okay. Master Cookie the Third says warm vomit is better than AI porn. Okay. But what about cold vomit? Parasitosis, where the fuck can I get a 1.5 cubic yards of mulch without paying $100 to have it delivered? Parasitosis, it's an excellent question. I don't know if I'm capable of answering that. I'm not sure where I would get mulch since I live in a city. Computer, where can I get mulch?
Sorry, I'm not able to conduct local searches right now. Please try again later.
Good for nothing. Literally good for nothing. It's just a tool from Amazon to sell me shit when I'm in the privacy of my own home, when we feel like we have a presumptive privacy. It's Kate X says, when you think about it, vomit has the same consistency as most AI slop anyway. I would imagine so. This is all Gen Z type talk. I don't really know much about things like slop. Guitar Joe says your neighbors probably have some that they just randomly scattered around their house. Probably so. Pancake King, who lives here in the Southern California area as well, says Lowe's. I don't know if I have a Lowe's near me. We have, there's an Ace Hardware, there's a Home Depot, there's a DIY, and there must be a Lowe's somewhere. Dark Aegis says, all of my AI porn is ethically sourced, mostly just the hottest scenes from 80s movie Short Circuit. Oh, wow, okay. But that's still using copyrighted material. Now, I do understand that environmentally speaking, AI uses a lot of water, so I would imagine AI porn would use a lot of water. But that's the same as anything, that's the same as regular porn. I'm sure that 2 Girls, 1 Cup probably used a lot of water for that shoot. Maui Girl 45, you can have my mulch. Thanks, Maui Girl. I don't need mulch. I don't know how that came up. Oh, yeah, Parasitosis was looking for mulch. If anybody has mulch to get to Parasitosis, he's having trouble getting it. Neat says Menards. I only know their jingle. Dark Ages says, I love infringing on copyright. Yeah, some people like it. It's like one of those things. It's like using the handicap stall. Sometimes it just feels good. I was quoting a song there, but Beanie Bobini says, if you have a large tree, you could mulch it yourself. You would just need an industrial tub grinder. Okay. Well, Beanie Bobini comes to us from the American heartland, the Midwest, Minnesota specifically. Beautiful, beautiful part of the country right there, as does Parasitosis. So they know what they're talking about when it comes to things like mulch. I'm just struggling with trying to deal with this cockroach infestation that's been haunting my kitchen for many a year now. It's been very difficult. It's psychologically distressing. Computer, tell me about the psychological effects of seeing a cockroach.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Didn't think you could. It's Kate X says, enjoyed the podcast with the domain GPCE. Yeah, you can check it out. It's called The Next Level. It's with my friends Brian Daniels and Raven. And Brian put a link to it in the Discord. If you go to the Henry's Kitchen Discord, you'll be able to listen to us just chatting for an hour about good times. And it was a lot of fun. I think I relived my experience of being in central Indiana and listening to or watching The Last Waltz with the band. You'll hear all about it there. I don't know if that's central Indiana. It might be southern Indiana. But either way, let's go here to Butt Smasher Masher, who says, cockroaches can be scary sometimes. I've never had to deal with them, but I got a ton of black crickets in my basement. Oh boy. Yeah, crickets, I don't think are probably... the grass is always greener, I guess is what they say. Thanks, Butt Smasher Masher, for donating 100 bits to the cause. I appreciate that. And Mimsy Coon has said, "Hurrah!" and resubscribed at the Tier 3 level. Thank you so much, Mimsy Coon, for your Tier 3 subscription that you've been doing for a while there. It's very kind of you, and it helps us keep the lights on here and keep the technology working at top notch. For example, computer, play Long Way to the Top to Rock and Roll by AC/DC.
AC/DC by Joan Jett and the Blackhearts from Apple Music.
Computer, stop! Computer, stop! I'm sorry, everybody. This is real bullshit. I just can't get it to play a song. Anyway. I was about to get screamed at in the privacy of my own apartment. I don't mind getting screamed at. I just wanted to be screamed at by AC/DC, not Joan Jett, although I do like Joan Jett. Okay, everybody, we're getting off a little bit here. Master Cookie the Third says, hey, Henry, remember last time I asked you for an advice on my bellyache? I do remember that. Turns out it was a mild case of pancreatitis. Sorry, it's not a funny message. Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that. Okay, so pancreatitis, I believe, is an inflammation of one of the organs, either the prostate or the pancreas. And you're going to need some antibiotic. You're going to need a lot of rest, a lot of water. It's gonna be a tough one to kick. But you're going to probably have, I don't know if you're drinking a lot of alcohol, but you're going to need to back off on that. But Master Cookie the Third, our thoughts are with you, and you've got this. You've got this. You can do this. Just you're going to have to listen to the doctors, rest up, change lifestyle, and take your meds. Captain Callis says, do you have computer set to another language? This may help. AC/DC language? There's no excuse. It's Kinky Linky says, have we reached the full backlog on Tuesday Henry's videos? Yes. It's Kinky Linky. Thanks for bringing that up. I did not post an unreleased video this last Tuesday. Hardly anybody noticed. There was some chatter on YouTube about how you got to post consistently and then it catches on with the algorithm or whatever. Mine did the opposite. My video views started going down, 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 and down until we bottomed out with the last one, which I thought was a pretty good one. My Teesside Parm. And it's not that I stopped because I gave up. It's just that I ran out of backlogged videos. There still are a couple of them, but I don't know that they're to my liking. I might need more time with them. So, Maui Girl, thanks. I'm sorry that you missed my post. There'll be more Henry's Kitchen videos, but for the moment, I'm just going to keep doing the monthly ones on Patreon. So if you want to see new Henry's Kitchen YouTube videos, just sign up for the Patreon, even if it's just $1 a month. $1 a month. That's the price of a cup of coffee in 1981. Okay, let's see what else is going on here. I'm going to check in here We've got 315 subscribers. I think that's really good, and I want to thank all of you. And a lot of you are Tier 3 subscribers. We just got one from Ishmael. Ishmael says, I found you through your consistent uploads on YouTube, and I'm glad I did. Wow. Well, shit, maybe it was working. Maybe I stopped right at the moment when it was going to start kicking in. I was doing it for 6 months, but I didn't see any benefit. But maybe that's really good, Ishmael. Thank you very much for that. I guess I'll keep doing it. Yeah, I appreciate it. Beanie Bobini cheered and said Henry's Kitchen for president. Sounds good to me. Thanks for the cheer. Beanie Bobini is our intern, and our intern has come up with a great idea. It's a clip your favorite Henry's Kitchen thing, and it's going to be decided. It's going to be a contest that's decided on our May 3rd stream, which is going to be is it the 4th anniversary of me streaming, or is it the 3rd? I've already lost track. It's Kate. Can you help me on all of this? It's my 4th year anniversary of being here on Twitch. I can't believe it. We've been through so much together. And many of you, like Beelzebub specifically, have been here from the very, very beginning. And many of you have come along over the years, and we've all become very close. We've gone to bars together. Danny's Bar and Grill is like a beautiful second home for me now, I feel like. I want to go there and do karaoke in Naperville. If you're ever anywhere near the Chicago area and you don't want to see the big city, go to Naperville. Go to Lou Malnati's, get yourself some Chicago-style pizza, and then go to Danny's Bar, have some beers, and do some karaoke. Destrolock09. Whoa, Destrolock09 subscribed for 43 months. Thank you so much. And Lurkers says, I'm watching you outside your window right now. Oh, shit. Oh, wow. That's terrifying. Thanks, Lurkers. And Official Shitter says, been through a lot. Yeah, we have. We sure have. I think we'll just leave it at that. All right. Well, Von Cheers says, you're my favorite singer. Thank you very much, Von Kriz. In that case, why don't we do a song? That's part of what we do here on the stream. Let's see what we got here. First, I want to thank Beanie Bobini for giving us this beautiful snapshot of presumably Minnesota. Why don't we put ourselves in lovely San Francisco in front of the Castro Theater for a special engagement. Submitted to us by Fat Hunger. Thank you, Fat Hunger, for this. Boy, I have some fond memories of being in San Francisco. I used to play at the Punchline there in the financial district, one Embarcadero or somewhere near there. Used to go afterward to a bar called Zeke's or Zeki's. I can't remember, but I just was always drunk when I saw the name of the place. But it was really, really fun. Official Shitter says, speaking of my name, I'm checking in from the urgent care lobby. In for the 3rd time in a month for my treatment-resistant IBS. Okay, well, Official Shitter, I just want to say I feel your pain. I've had IBS most of my life, and I'm not ashamed to talk about it, no matter who it is. I don't even care if I know the person. If I'm just at the Jiffy Lube and we're both waiting for our cars to get serviced and I start talking about my IBS, I don't think you should be ashamed about it. And if everybody says, why are you talking to me about this? That's their problem. That's the way I look at it. But you've got this. Psyllium husk, fiber, you say it's untreatable. It's got to be treatable somehow. They're going to find the right thing for you. Dark Ages says, have you tried a fecal transplant yet? Just ask a friend you know with a healthy gut for some poop. Yeah, I'd rather take the advice of a doctor, but maybe you're getting that from a doctor. I don't know, but it's still secondhand. Pancake King says, I used to work next to the Orpheum Theater in downtown LA and loved all the neon right outside. The Orpheum, cool. There's some great theaters here. Like, what's the really famous one on, like, Wilshire, in the mid-Wilshire area? I want to say El Portal, but it's not that. It's like, but it's got a name like that. El Rey. I think it's the El Rey. Okay, everybody. Maui Girl says, we had a lecture about the fecal transplant in pharmacy school. Wow. Okay, maybe we should change the subject a little bit. I Slap Cat Butt says, Henry, please don't make me laugh. I'm very sick and my throat hurts so bad. Laughing feels like hot knives. Okay. Have you tried watching Saturday Night Live? No, sorry, that was a burn. Actually, the last couple of episodes have been very funny, so that wasn't... I feel bad for saying that. I Slap Cat Butts. Listen, I'm sorry that your throat hurts. It seems like a lot of people are having a lot of problems this morning. Maybe the demographic for the Henry's Kitchen show is people who are hospitalized, and that's okay. I'm happy if I'm making your day feel a little bit better or more or less boring. Okay, here we go. Roach Swallowed says, don't feel bad for saying that. Well, I feel bad for two reasons. One, I, as someone who has done comedic things throughout my life, I've realized that everybody has different tastes. And when you start putting down certain people for whatever type of humor that they're doing, especially if they have an audience for it, it's not really accurate because it's a subjective thing. And then also, I watched the last couple of episodes and I thought it was really funny, but I just couldn't resist sort of the one-liner, harmless ribbing, on a Wednesday morning. Scuba Steve 361 says, I started a GoFundMe to help pay for Henry's fecal transplant. Here's the link. Wow, Scuba Steve 361. I don't even know that we asked for that, but thank you for that. And thanks for your subscription. And Blurpack has subscribed for 38 months and says, nice shirt, Henry. Thank you. I love this shirt. I've worn it a few times over the last month. I like it a lot. And Anonymous, that's the group Anonymous that does all the digital social justice type hacking, and has gifted a tier 1 sub to Poopy Dingus. Thank you, Anonymous, and welcome Poopy Dingus to the group here. And Destrolock09, thanks again for your subscription. Dazzlecat says maybe it can be like a Secret Santa where we each send each other a fecal sample. Okay, guys, we're getting too into this situation. There are some people that have real problems, and anyway, so I want to do a song for you. This song is called Shit on the Rim of My Toilet, and it's, I don't know why, wait, Maui Girl says, all right, everybody, let's change the subject. I'm not even going to do that song because it's too on the nose. All right. Let's do this song. This is a rocker. This was requested to us by our own Nancy Droodles that I got to hang out with after the show in Chicago the other night. A couple weeks ago, actually, we went to, was it called Pete's Tiki Bar? Great time hanging out with the users there, and Nancy Droodles was there, and Nancy wanted to hear this rock song that I tried to get my computer to play, but it didn't know what the fuck. It started playing Lil Wayne or Joan Jett. It was all over the place. So let's go ahead and do this song. I'm just going to try to remember it. I didn't really, I tried to preview it, but it didn't work, but I grew up with it, so I should probably know a little bit of it. A lot of AC/DC is really more about the vibe. It's not necessarily the melody or the chords. All right, check. 1. Do you hear reverb? Check. Okay, here we go, everybody. Riding down the highway, going to a show, stopping all the byways, playing rock and roll, getting robbed, getting stoned, getting beat up, broken boned, getting had, getting took. I tell you folks, it's harder than it looks. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. Yeah, it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. If you think it's easy doing one-night stands, try playing in a rock and roll band, 'cause it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. Wow. I feel like they're speaking my language here. You know, a lot of people don't realize that when I just did my most recent tour, St. Louis to Zanies, there was a lot of this stuff that happened. I got robbed, I got stoned, I got beat up, broken boned, got had, got took. And that was just all on the walk to the club. Hotel, motel, make you wanna cry. Lady, do the hard sell. Know the reason why. Getting old, getting gray, getting ripped off, underpaid, getting sold secondhand. That's how it goes, playing in a fucking band. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. Yeah, it's a long way to the top if you're gonna rock and roll. If you wanna be a star of stage and screen, look out, because it's rough and mean. Yeah, it's a long way to the top if you wanna rock and roll. Hopeful Equinox says, I hate when that happens at Zanies. Same thing here in Nashville. Oh yeah, the Zanies in Nashville, on the way over there, I got took, broken boned, the whole 9 yards. And it was only 9 yards, interestingly, from the condo to the club. Scuba Steve 361 says, how does one know when they've reached the top? I don't know, that's a good question. Computer, how does one know when they've reached the top?
From thesaurus.net. The phrase reach the top refers to achieving great success or accomplishing a major goal.
So it's when you've accomplished a major goal, I guess, which we're going to do today. Ishmael says, my favorite quote from AC/DC. I'm sick to death of people saying we've made 11 albums that sound exactly the same. In fact, we've made 12 albums that sound exactly the same. That's wonderful. You gotta love AC/DC for leaning in to what they do. Guitar Joe, the top, is having over 300 subs on Twitch. Yeah, I'll say. To the top if you want to rock and roll. Parasitosis says you have to be the cream because the cream rises to the top. Oh yeah, and I am the cream, brother. Thanks, Parasitosis, for clarifying that definition. Franz Schubert says they say akadaka in Australia. Isn't AC/DC? Oh, that's what they call them, akadaka? AC/DC. I didn't realize it was a phonetic thing. Pancake King says, I love how they've been so solid over the years. Yeah, they've been so good. AC/DC is just incredible, incredible music. Back in Black, right after the passing of Bon Scott, which was an amazing band with Bon Scott fronting it, but when Brian Johnson came on, it was a different band, but like another amazing band. It was just incredible, but the same backbone. Anyway, well, let's take a look. Thanks, Fat Hunger, for sending us this cool picture of a theater in San Francisco. It looks lovely. Angry Penguin 922 sends a picture of presumably their cat, who is named Scuba. Thank you, Angry Penguin, for sending Scuba. It's always nice to see the face of a pet or an animal in general to help us put things in perspective and just generally speaking, make us happy. Beanie Bobini sent a picture of presumably his cat. I got to hang out with Beanie Bobini, our intern, too. And he put together this apron for HenCon, and everybody signed it. And I'll have it forever, and I love that. Beanie Bobini also sent a picture of this one that's captioned HenCon 2027. Oh yeah, we are going to hell for HenCon. How are we going to do that? I like it. Maybe we got to let's use this as a background. I don't know what I'm going to do. We got to do something with this. Why don't we try... let's see here. What would be a good song to use as a background for this? Hell's Bells? Yeah, I guess we could do that one. Let's try Hell's Bells. I can't sing like him, but we can maybe do a Suicidio version of it. Hell's Bells by AC/DC. Because it's such a cool picture. This is definitely going to be our picture for any satanic metal type stuff. The Gym Dodger says, I think I have dermatitis from wiping battery acid on my forehead. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Feel free to share any ailments that you have this morning. It sounds like they're really running the gamut. Okay. There's an intro here. I'm rolling thunder, I'm pouring rain, I'm coming on like a hurricane. My lightning's flashing across the sky. You're only young, but you're gonna die. Don't take no prisoners, I won't spare no lives. Nobody's putting up a fight, I got my bell. I'm gonna take you to hell. Get ya, Satan get ya, hell's bells. You got me ringing hell's bells. I think my grandma used to say that. Hell's bells. My temperature's high, hell's bells. His temperature's high. I don't know why he decided to go out to sing that night. If you have a high temperature, it probably means a fever, or it could mean you're going to hell. But either way, it sounds like he belongs here on the stream. I'll give you black sensations up and down your spine. If you're into evil, buddy, you're a friend of mine. See my white light flashing as I split the night. 'Cause if good's on the left, well, then I'm sticking to the right. A lot of people have said that in the last couple of years. I won't take no prisoners, won't spare no lives. Hell's bells got me ringing hell's bells. Nothing's more satanic than a little Bach. Tried to go through a little medley of metal songs. Bach in Black. That's great, Pancake King. You definitely win the wordplay contest today. Has anyone done Bach in Black as an album? Thanks, Neat. Thank you, everybody. Okay, Gumme Candy. Wow, everybody says this was really good. Thank you very much, everybody. Well, this is starting to creep me out a little bit, so I think I'm going to go. Next time we'll do... how did that one go? Some people might know that one. Angry Penguin says we need a heaven background. I'm on it. Oh, we've got heaven backgrounds. We've got a lot of them. They usually come from Maui Girl, like this beautiful shot of heaven right here. Cows grazing, green. Pancake King says, do you remember the Freedom Rock commercials? It would be awesome if you could do a montage homage. Yeah, I remember that. Whoa, is that Freedom Rock? All right, let's go ahead and do the next song. This is a song request that we got from Duza. Duza, I believe, is the one who gave me that killer coffee from Seattle. It was a Monk's coffee or something. Dr. Malobo says, what type of cows are these? I don't know. Maui Girl, can we get a fact check on what type of cows these are? Brown cow, parasitosis says. Oh, these are called brown cows. Kind of like they have the brown bear and the black bear. Ishmael says, I need to hear Suicidio sing Number of the Beast now. I don't know the lyrics, but we'll do it. Here, let's put it in the Discord as a request, and I'll do it, and we'll use that hell background that Beanie Bobini gave us. It's Kate X says these are weird-looking dogs. Well, my eyes aren't so good, but I know they're quadrupeds, but I don't know if they're dogs. All right. I Slap Cat Butts says, time for work. Bye, Henry and the users. Thank you very much, I Slap Cat Butts. And I hope you don't slap them hard. I hope you just give them little pat-pats on the butt. Space Ghost 8 says, I don't know if those are cows. Probably not. The Jim Dodger says, my mind was black. Oh yeah, there you go. My mind was black. Yeah, we're going to do that for sure. Dark Ages says, have you tried a fecal transplant? Oh yeah, that we've covered that extensively. Let's go ahead and do... This is kind of a dark sounding song because it's in minor, but it's kind of related to agriculture in a way, so maybe this is going to be the right one. It's called I Heard It Through the Grapevine. Maui Girl says 6 Ulapalakua Ranch store, photos and local tips for the road to Hana Ulapukalua Ranch is a historic 20,000 acre working cattle ranch on Maui's Haleakala slopes, running approximately 2,300 head of Brangus and Angus breeding cattle. Wow. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and do this song with this background. I Heard It Through the Grapevine, and this was requested to us by Duza. It's a classic Motown hit. Computer, who popularized I Heard It Through the Grapevine?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Doesn't even know the most basic stuff. I think it was Marvin Gaye. I think that's what it was in the Discord. But, my God. Okay, here we go. Well, I could do the, wait. I'm going to take it down. Because we're going to do this in the Suicidio key. I'll bet you're wondering how I knew about your plans to make me blue with some other guy that you knew before. Between the two of us, guys, you know I love you more. Took me by surprise, I must say, when I found out yesterday. Oh, I heard it through the grapevine. Not much longer would you be mine. Oh, I heard it through the grapevine. Timmy Bublé says Gladys Knight has a version that sounds nothing like the original. Not a fan. I'm a fan of Gladys Knight. I haven't heard that song. Bill Frisell does a good version. Okay. And I remember John Fogerty's got a version too. I'm fucking it up terribly. I hope there's no judgment coming. I'm not really a guy who sings this type of song very well. Or really most songs for that matter. But here we go. You know that a man ain't supposed to cry, but these tears I can't hold inside. Losing you would end my life, you see, 'cause you mean that much to me. Could have told me for yourself that you found somebody else. Instead I heard it through the grapevine that not much longer you would be mine. Oh, I heard it through the grapevine, and then I'm just about to lose my mind. Honey, honey, yeah. Caitlin's Kitchen says some people watch The Voice, some watch American Idol. I watch this. Thanks, Caitlin's Kitchen, but I'm really kind of more like the people they show in the beginning of the show for the comic relief. I heard it through the grapevine. Not much longer would you be mine. Ooh, I heard it through the grapevine, and I'm just about to lose my mind. Honey, honey, yeah. Money Curse says CCR version, they say hoid it instead of heard it. Yeah, that's because it's easier to sing hoid it. Anybody can sing hoid it. There we go, everybody. I want to thank everybody for their song submissions, namely Dooza and Nancy Droodles. Kalamazoo Dog says, beautiful song, Hen. Thanks, Kalamazoo Dog. Good to see you on here. Hope all's well with you up there in Utah land. I think that's where I met you. Yeah, in Park City, right? Thanks, Camo Meal. Thanks, Beanie Bobini and Neat and Gummy Candy and Schneebs Plays. Dooza sent us a beautiful picture here of the Ohio River. Wow, look at that. That is a thing of beauty right there. I'm pretty sure, now that's a bridge that Dooza says actually it goes from West Virginia to Ohio. That's if you're coming east to west. It goes the other way if you're going the other direction. Guitar Joe says, you've had those strings on your guitar for 7 months. How often do you change them? I really don't. I think the last time I changed these were probably about 2.5 years ago. I really don't unless I'm doing something that I'm inspired by, which hasn't happened in many, many years. Okay, so Parasitosa says we need more one-way bridges. Yeah. Like Rush says in Red Barchetta, at the one-lane bridge, I leave the giants stranded by the riverside, race home to the farm and dream with my uncle by the fireside, or something like that. Yeah, this is beautiful. This is an incredible picture. I remember driving, I was in Ohio. I think I was in Youngstown, Ohio. I wish Duzo was here who took the picture. I wonder if you could verify for this. Isn't Youngstown on the eastern border of Ohio? Oh, here you are, Duza. Okay, yeah, I was there, and I was going to West Virginia for a gig, and I pulled over to a gas station, and I asked the lady behind the counter, do you know how far it is from here to West Virginia? And she said, I have no idea. And she said, I know it's west, which was interesting because it's not west, it's actually east. I guess she was going by the fact that it's called West Virginia, but it's only west depending on where you are when you're saying that. And then I drove about 2 miles and I was in West Virginia after going through a bridge like this. Yeah. So she, and I'm not slagging her, I'm just saying it's interesting that she didn't know that there was a whole state just a couple of miles away from her. That gas station needs to let her off work every now and then to do a little bit of traveling. Sociopathogen has a good point and says maybe the map was upside down. Parasitosis, I can't say that. I've been all around this country and there's a lot of great people in every places. I'm just saying that one person needs to do a little more getting out of the house or out of the work. Duza says people still don't realize that West Virginia is its own state. Yeah, people probably think it's part of Virginia, I would imagine. It's an absolutely incredible state. It's all beautiful there. Every part of all that is beautiful. Okay, Caitlin's Kitchen says her workplace doesn't provide their employees a compass. That could be what it is. So it's not really her fault. But thanks, Duza, for sharing this. This was good fodder for conversation, and it was just a generally beautiful picture. A lot of beautiful pictures this time around. I like this one. Program 182 gives us this one. Now, what are we looking about? It looks a little bit like the Stanley Parable game that we played, but I don't think it is, but it looks pretty cool. This is a really cool, maybe this could be Backrooms. Is Backrooms a game? Oh, Beelzebub says too, yeah. It's a term. Henry in the Backrooms. Oh, it's a term more so than a game. Cool. Maybe this would be a good Silicon Valley, time to quote Silicon Valley. Let me show you the next location in which we would install one of your boxes. One of my favorite shows, and I was very lucky to be asked to be in it. I guess because I'm weird. Chamomile says, Henry in the Backrooms. Yeah. Well, this is a cool picture. We're going to be using this for various purposes. Oh, and Parasitosis sends us this one. It looks like this is from Japan, and it's called Jonathan's. Official Shitter says they're calling me. I gotta go. Have a great stream, Henry and users. Hey, Official Shitter, I hope everything goes okay with what you're dealing with what you're struggling with. And as somebody who's struggled with the same thing, you've got this. IBS Brothers Unite. Brothers in IBS. Parasitosis, JoJo reference and all that. Oh, there's a reference here. I'm sorry. I don't know the reference, but it looks like a diner in, is it Japan? I can't tell from the resolution of this. Jonathan's. Money Curse. Henry, do you remember which episode of Silicon Valley that famous line of yours was from? Yeah, it's definitely season 3 is when I came on, and I can't remember if it was the first episode or the third episode, but it's right in the beginning of the episode. Jonathan's, and don't forget, speaking of famous Jonathans,
shave my belly with a rusty knife when I wake up in the morning.
We've got this.
A bottle of rum and a fancy jig, and the road rise up to me. Gee, just put another shrimp on the Barbie friend, and I'll be there to greet you. Row, ho, diddle-ye, fancy free on the Bonnie Bog. Whack all day in the valley, oh, and I go home in the morning. Row, ho, skilly-doo, a misty, musty morning friend, skipping about with a drunken whore, and I go home in the morning.
Hi, this is John on behalf of Expert Village. In this video clip, I'll be talking about storage of your shop vac. Hi, this is John, and in this clip, we'll be installing our top slats. Hi, this is John, and in this clip, I'll be talking about ventilation. Hi, this is John, and in this clip, we'll be installing our trim. Hi, this is John on behalf of Expert Village. In this video clip, we'll be calculating the volume of a room. Hi, this is John, and in this clip, we'll be removing the brick mold. Hi, this is John, and in this clip, I'll be talking about personal safety equipment. Hi, this is John on behalf of Expert Village. In this video clip, I'll be talking about work light operation. Hi, this is John, and in this clip, I'll be talking about tool inspection. Hi, this is John, and in this clip, we'll be installing and fine-tuning our top cap pieces. Hi, this is John, and in this clip, I'll be talking about your work area. Hi, this is
Money Curse says this is the cadence we would use to leave messages on answering machines. Yeah, you recognize it. It's a very famous Gen X reference that a lot of people seem to be unfamiliar with. Why am I not in the middle? We used to leave outgoing messages on our answering machines, even though everybody knew exactly what to do, but it would say something like, "Hello, you've reached Henry at 818-248-4171. I'm not here. Neither I or anyone in the household are here to answer your phone at the moment. But if you'll leave your name, number, and a brief message as to why you're calling, then one of us will get back to you in a reasonable amount of time. Please wait for the tone. Thank you, Henry." And then you'd leave your message. But after a little while, some people would just say, "Hey, you've reached Henry. You know what to do." And then that was like a cool way to do it because everybody knew what to do. The Gym Dodger says, "I was one of those dicks who recorded hello. Oh, how are you? Oh, yeah. Okay, yes. Beep. Yeah, no, I did the same thing, Gym Dodger. I had one where I said, hello. Oh, yeah. Hold on a second." And then I would let them hold for about a minute and a half. And then I'd come back and go, "Aha, I got you. It's an answering machine." And the telemarketers would get pissed. I had one telemarketing supervisor who left a message saying, "Hi, we're going to need you to change that message. It's just a big time waster for a lot of our staff here who are trying to get real business done. And we just can't have them losing productivity by calling your message and getting hoodwinked into waiting on hold for a minute and a half. So we're going to need you to go ahead and change that if you could. Thank you." And I just thought, wow, the audacity to tell me that I have to change my own private outgoing message from a company that I don't even work for. It was a very strange time. Parasitosa says, "Hi, I am not here right now. Leave a message and I'll get back to you when I get back. Fake beep sound." Haha, got you. Oh, that's good. Do a fake beep sound. and then have them leave the message and then do the real one. I like that. So in that case, you're going to get a lot of half messages. That was another fun thing, is you'd leave half the message and make them feel like it got cut off. Like when their beep went off, you would just be like, so anyway, it sounds like a good deal. Just call that number and they're just going to give you the money. And okay. And then you hang up and they're like, wait, I missed the whole first part of the message. RJ Ramrod says, for anybody who doesn't know, the something is also a JoJo reference. I don't know about JoJo. Yeah, Guitar Joe sounded like Bill Lumberg. Yeah, it's hard not to sound like Bill Lumberg when you're imitating your supervisor from the 90s. It's pretty much impossible. Okay, everybody. It's time for us. Let's just see if there's any other pictures that have been submitted here. No, doesn't look like it. Thanks everybody for submitting these pictures. They're beautiful pictures. And it's time now for us to get some work done. Okay, here we are. The kitchen. I am currently battling a cockroach infestation, which I have been for many years on and off. I had fruit flies once and I got rid of them, so I'm confident I'll be able to do this, but it might take years. But it's not going to stop us. Unsuccessfully coping says, no cockroaches again? Yeah, cockroaches. I saw one this morning. And, I got this stuff. I got all kinds of stuff. I have this stuff that kills them, but it says keep out of reach of children. That's usually a good sign. That means it kills children also. I'm not saying I would kill children with it, but if it kills children, it's definitely going to, a human child is going to be more resistant to a cockroach, I would think. I don't really know. But either way, I think it's a good sign that it says that. But then it also says safe around people and pets. So it kills children, but it's good for it's fine around your pets and for people. So it's not even saying that children are people. I don't know, I'm confused. I also got this bag of some type of dust that you put in the cupboards. And what that does is it's a desiccant. So what it does is it dries out all of the fluid from within the roach, and their bones literally get so brittle that they just sort of fall apart. They turn to stone, kind of. It's a little bit like a Medusa. That's what it's called. It's called Medusa dust. And you put it in there, and they're just walking around doing their thing, and all of a sudden, oh God, what's happening to me? What's happening to my body? And they turn to stone and eventually just fall apart. There's another one. There's these little roach hotels, and the way that those work is that the roach goes in there, finds food, and thinks, oh, I got food, I'll bring it back to the family. Everybody's gonna love me. And they go back, and the whole family's eating, the whole commune or whatever they've got going on, and somebody's saying, we're proud of you, son, and thanks for bringing back this food from your scouting trip to Henry's Kitchen. And then one of them starts turning blue, and the rest of them start looking around and going, oh my God, we've been poisoned, and it's all your fault. And they point to the roach that was doing the scout, and it's really very cruel. It is sad. Okay guys, I'm just sort of a rambling lunatic at this point. I gotta stop talking. Shirley's Newt says, the Metamorphosis gives us an insight into what it's like to be a bug. Yeah, that's a creepy book. Read that right there. I had a copy of the book, but I had the first page torn out of it. So I read the whole book, but I missed the very first sentence, which says I was turning into a giant cockroach or vermin, depending on what translation you read. So literally the whole book made no sense to me at all. I didn't realize that there would ever be a first sentence that's that important, they should at least repeat it. Like nowadays, they at least repeat things for people that might have been, you know, doing something else while they're watching a movie or whatever. They have to repeat plot points. Okay, everybody, enough of this blathering. It's time to get some work done. So let's talk a little bit about what we're making today. First, I want to check in with the alerts. Desolate Reality, thank you very much for your subscription. It says, Henry, I just want to let you know I really enjoy your shows. Thank you. I always save your YouTube videos for when the GF comes over so we can watch your wonderful cooking together. Thanks, Desolate Reality. That's very cool to hear. There's about 100 YouTube videos, and then there's several hundred of these live streams that you can watch on YouTube or here on Twitch in the DVD section. Kalamazoo Dog, thanks again for your subscription. Scuba Steve 361, thanks for starting that GoFundMe to pay for my fecal transplant. I don't think I need one. I don't even know how that works, but thank you very much for your subscription nonetheless. And Roach Swallower says Bison River. Bison River. So you mean there's a river called Bison? A river, the River Bison? The reverb is on. The reverb is on. Oh, I see what you're saying. Thank you for that. Roach Swallower is giving me a coded message saying that the reverb is on, and I'm going to take care of that right now. If you do have to give me a technical note here, please do so in code so as I'm not embarrassed. Parasitosis says, I put my hand upon your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand upon my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. Is that a Michael Bublé? It sounds like it. Malton33 says, good job solving that cryptic riddle. Yeah, thanks, Malton. And Shirley's Newt says it can't hurt, or maybe it can. Yeah, and I don't even know what you're referring to, but I think you're still right. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about today's recipe. It comes to us from... There's kids out in the hallway, I guess. It comes to us from this website. It's themodestchef.com, spelled with 2 F's. And we'll show you what this looks like. This is The Modest Chef. And it says here, I've been making my own recipes since I was a child, so we're going to be making a dip today. And it should go without saying, I've gotten damn good at it. Over the years, I've become such a bad ass when it comes to the art of putting together random ingredients found in the mundanity of the terrestrial world and alchemize them into flavors fit for the gods. This is why my own personalized dipping sauce is quite simply a work of sublime creation. In fact, I wouldn't just call it the best dipping sauce on the internet. I would go as far as to say it's the best thing on the internet, period. And that includes AI porn. So sit back and enjoy the privilege of being able to taste the explosion of flavors that come straight from my incredibly creative mind. I am the best chef that's ever walked this earth, okay? So if you guys want to check that out, it's themodestchef.com with 2 F's. Meantime, let's go ahead and see what we've got to work with here. I'm going to show you the ingredients that we've got. We've got ketchup. Oh. Has this ketchup gone bad, maybe? It kind of looks nasty. Ew, what is that shit? Oh God. We're not gonna use whatever that is. That's nasty ass shit. Throwing this in the trash. Now what's this one? Now I gotta get rid of this, whatever this is. Ah! I guess catsup gets old. Oh. That was some rotten catsup from years ago, I guess. Let's wash this. This is the only plate I have clean, so. Oh. Computer, can you die from inhaling the fumes of nasty old ketchup?
From WebMD.com. The fumes can cause heart failure or clog your lungs so you can't breathe.
Whew. I didn't know that happened. I had no idea. Flabber the Phasm says, was that the mushroom ketchup from months ago? Oh, that's exactly what it was. Flabber the Phasm, you're right. That's what it was. I remember because, wow, you're pretty on the nose. You're on the ball here. I had made mushroom ketchup, and you can see the video of it, and I used a regular catsup bottle for it, and I just left it in there for years. I think that was at least a year ago that I made that stuff. Ugh, that smelled nasty. Whew. Guitar Joe says, now that's what I call a callback. Yeah. Hammy X-Ham says, ha, I said mushroom ketchup as a joke. Well, that's what it was. You know what? I think I'm going to throw this other one away just out of principle. I have these things, and I think that's going to be enough. These are from McDonald's or whatever. Jeez. Very appetizing to start your recipe with opening some old-ass mushroom ketchup. Whew. It still stinks in here. I gotta recover for a second. Wow. Did the computer say it causes heart failure? That's awful. All right, well, let's take a look at some of the ingredients that we've got here. You got to scroll down so far because the modest chef has all kinds of bragging about himself the whole time. Kind of ironic that he's called the modest chef. Chamomile says maybe that ketchup can kill the roaches. Yeah, I might have just invented a roach killer. Okay, here's what we do need. We need a half a cup of mayonnaise, and I'm not going to need a half a cup. That's absolutely ridiculous. We need a half a cup of mayonnaise, half a cup of ketchup. So as long as they're equal amounts. No, quarter cup ketchup. Garlic powder. Onion powder, both the same thing basically. It asks for Worcestershire sauce, but I don't have that. I have malt vinegar, which I think is from the same family. Shirley's Newt says maybe that mushroom catsup is what has been attracting the cockroaches. Maybe so. Well, I'll let you know. Maybe they'll all sort of leave with the mushroom catsup, like some kind of fucked up Pied Piper situation. Okay, I need salt and pepper. Today I'll be using my adorable salt and pepper shakers that were gifted to me by Game Master Flash. If these aren't the cutest thing that you've seen today, then you see a lot of cute shit in only half a day. And I envy you for that. Okay, So, and then we also have some other things, less sodium soy sauce, as well as some waste paste. Wasabi paste. Sorry, waste paste. What's waste paste? Computer, is waste paste a thing?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
I think we might have just invented waste paste. We get a little out of focus here. Okay. All right. Well, so what is a dipping sauce? Well, a dipping sauce is a type of sauce that you dip your main food into. So by main food, this could be your French fries. This could be your, French fries. Or you could use it as a condiment for your burger. You could probably dip bread into a dipping sauce. What are some other things? Well, I mean, when you take a tortilla chip, for example, and you dip it into salsa, the salsa becomes your dipping sauce. This is pretty obvious stuff. I don't know if I even need to go into it. Beanie Bo Beanie says, what's the difference between a dip, a sauce, and a condiment? That I don't know. I think they're used interchangeably. Agamanugtos says salsa is a dance. Duh. Oh, you're right. Yeah. Well, what am I thinking of? What's the sauce that you dip a tortilla chip in? Oh, guacamole. Strawberry Skirt says salsa means dance. Yeah. So I fucked that up. But anyway, all right. So what I'm going to use as my main food is I'm going to use this. This is tempura shrimp sticks that I got frozen. And these are going to be good regardless. So that's going to be fun. If this dipping sauce isn't as awesome as the Modest Chef claims that it is, then we'll just eat this. And it should be okay. So let's put that in the oven now. There's instructions. Preheat oven. I'm going to use a one of those air fryers there. 400. Arrange frozen shrimp in single layer on baking sheet. What? So shrimp are not touching each other. Okay. Place on middle rack. This is too complicated, guys. Bake 8 to 10 minutes, so that's 9 minutes on each side. Okay. That sounds pretty complicated. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to put it in our air fryer for, we'll put it at 400. Oh, I need this part. It's not clean. Okay. Fuck. So I'm not going to use this. Sorry, everybody. This is a little improv. Bake 400 degrees. Computer, how much time left?
There are no timers set.
Aglamonos says cram some tinfoil in the gullet of the machine. Yeah, good call. I don't have tinfoil. I have pellicula plastique. Can't use that. I've got parchment sheets. Let me read those instructions again here. Cover bottom. Arrange frozen shrimp in a single layer on baking sheet so shrimp are not touching each other. That's impossible. Place baking sheet on the middle rack of the oven. Bake for 8 minutes to 10 minutes, 9 minutes, on each side till golden brown. Okay. So we're going to wait to preheat that. I'm sorry, everybody. Sed's Meow Mix says, crumble up parchment paper into a ball, then open it back out to make it more malleable. Oh, that sounds like a good trick. Maybe while we're waiting, we could try Sed's Meow Mixes. So you crumple it into a ball. Crumble up parchment paper into a ball, then open it back up. Oh, so it doesn't do that annoying thing where it folds over. Oh yeah, you're right. Hey, that's a good trick. Thank you very much, Sed's Meow Mix. That was a very good trick. I like that. All right, so let's go ahead and arrange these. How do you open this now? Are you kidding me? Nothing's easy today, huh? Fuck. Okay, now it said it's not supposed to be touching each other. I think we can do that because we're only using half of them. But geez, I mean, can you imagine if I had 10 of these? There's no way you could possibly arrange them so they're not touching each other. Some crumbs there. You know, the indigenous people of Pelly Bay, Canada are famous for using every part of the frozen shrimp sticks that they kill. Kalamazoo Dog says, if it means anything, I'm having a nothing is easy today kind of day too. Yeah. Maui Girl says the shrimp want to touch each other. They want to touch each other. Who am I to say they can't touch each other? Caitlin's Kitchen says they're so cute. Yeah, they are cute, aren't they? Look at that. They're all just ready to be baked. Kalamazoo Dog, I feel your pain. Strawberry Skirt says jumbo shrimp gumbo. Yeah. Boy, I'm getting hungry. Just all this talk. Let's put this in the trash. Let's start making our sauce. Beanie Bo Beanie says, you're doing great, Henry. Just happy to be here. Hey, thanks for the vote of encouragement there. I appreciate that you're there. Thank you very much. I've got my friends here. And what can go wrong? Let's start making this Modest Chef's badass sauce that he's talking about. It says we're going to add the mayo and the ketchup to a medium bowl. Okay, so we've got our medium bowl. Now, I don't know where they come up with... I mean, this is a medium bowl. If you had a smaller one and a larger one, I'd call it medium. But if you don't have the other bowls, it's impossible to know whether your bowl is medium or not. So that's already a problem I have with the recipe. And Chamomile says we'll be needing a makeshift assembly line for this recipe. Probably. Yeah. Okay, Parasitosis says, culinarily speaking, this is small. That's a small bowl. Well, that's okay. We're going to be making a small one. Okay, so we're going to add our mayo and ketchup. All we need to know is that we want 2 parts mayo, 1 part ketchup. So as long as we use half of the amount of mayo that we're using, we should be good. So I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of mayo. Doesn't want to come out there. Whew. This mayo's a little pungent too. I guess that's the vinegar. What's the expiration date on this? March 11th, 2025. Computer, does mayonnaise go bad?
Mayonnaise usually can last at room temperature for 3 to 6 months and in the fridge for 2 to 3 months after its best buy. Refrigeration ensures that commercial sauces and condiments stay fresh for a longer period of time. Shelf-stable commercial mayonnaise is safe when stored at room temperature after opening. Quality, not safety, is the reason the labels on these products suggest that they be refrigerated after opening. Once opened, mayonnaise usually can last for up to 2 months in the fridge. Freezing mayonnaise is not recommended.
Well, we're way past that, but Strawberry Skirt says, nah, mayo never goes bad. Okay. Caitlin's Kitchen says the garbage is going to be making its own sauce. Yeah, probably. Okay, we need now 1 tablespoon of our catsup. This is a fine Heinz catsup that we obtained here at Henry's Kitchen from some outing to presumably a fast food restaurant. Maybe not McDonald's, but maybe something along those lines. Okay, and we're using this because we don't think that the other one is going to be any good. John Ladders says, perhaps you got it from Five Guys. Maybe so. I think I might have just gotten it from one guy in the back of a 7-Eleven who was selling it out of his trench coat. Okay, here we go. Let's use paper towel here. Let's see what our next order of operation is. I know you have questions. I'm going to get to them. Let's check our alerts. Thanks again, Desolate Reality and Kalamazoo Dog, for your support. And Mimsy Coons, thank you so much for your Tier 3 subscription. Mimsy Coon. Let's see what else we've got here in terms of what we're supposed to do. Add the seasonings to a small bowl and mix to combine. Oh, I see. So we're using 2 bowls. Yeah, that's why I got 2 bowls out here. So now we got to do some math. We did 2 parts mayo, 1 part catsup. We need a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. Computer, what percentage of 1/2 a cup is 1/4 of a teaspoon?
From thecontentauthority.com. 1/4 means 1/4 or 25%, while half means 1/2 or 50%.
I don't know if that helps me. I'm trying to figure out if I have 1/2 of a cup of mayonnaise, 1/4 of a cup of ketchup, how much, and 1/4 of a teaspoon garlic, but I've gone, okay. Computer, 1/4 of a teaspoon is to 1/4 of a cup as 2 tablespoons
I'm not quite sure how to help you with
It's
that.
because I wasn't done yet. Computer, 1/4 of a teaspoon is to 1/4 of a cup as 2 tablespoons is to what?
1/4 of a teaspoon is to 1/4 of a cup as 2 tablespoons is to 1/8 of a cup, since there are 6 tablespoons in a cup.
1/8 of a cup, but we're working in tablespoons. So we're going to do 1/8 of a tablespoon. And I don't have a 1/8 tablespoon measurement thing, so we're just going to have to guesstimate. Boy, this stuff's all frickin' frozen in there, huh? What's that all about? Literally not coming out. Does it freeze up? Here, I'm not... What? You gotta be kidding me. It's all clumped. Okay, that should do it. That's probably too much, actually. And boy, have you ever tried to screw something on with one hand? That's not easy. And we got a little fruit fly guy there. All right. You know, I am always a little bit ambivalent when it comes to flies in the kitchen, because, and roaches, you know, or whatever, Because the problem that would be worse is if nobody came around when you were cooking at all, because that means that whatever you're cooking is not, for whatever reason, it's not appealing to them. So it's sort of mixed feelings. Okay, seasonings to a small bowl. Armor ant, the clumps mean it's fresh. I made that up, but I think it's true. Okay, thanks. Thanks for making that up. It made me feel better. Now we need salt and pepper. We've got our salt and pepper. Now, I don't know which one is which, but since we're using both salt and pepper, we're going to just sort of do a little dash of both. Push it real good. Okay, and we also need, we need to stir this up. Oh! There goes our oven. Computer, set timer for 9 minutes.
9 minutes, starting now.
Computer, how much time left on the timer?
You have 8 minutes and 50 seconds left on your 9-minute timer.
Oh, shit. What am I doing? All right, I don't know how much of a fuck up this is, but I was supposed to use a seasonings bowl for the dry ingredients, but instead I put them into the same frickin' bowl. It's because I wasn't paying attention. You know, it's fun to have bugs around you and all that stuff, but it really takes your concentration away. Fondue yourself, it's not a fuck up. It's more efficient. Yeah, that's what I would think, but for whatever reason, they wanted me to do them all. It said add the seasoning mixture to a second bowl. Do not mix into the same bowl. Why would it matter? All right, well, we don't have a choice. We're just going to have to combine it all. Sorry I'm late. I'm Latte says it saves dishes, so that's great. Yeah, this is clean. I'm not going to have to wash that now. Okay, so we're going to need a whisker for this, which I have somewhere. We've got a small bowl here, so we're just going to use a baby whisker and whisk it up. Caitlin's Kitchen says they just don't want seasonings and sauces to fall in love. Yeah, there's a lot of, between making sure that the shrimp are not touching each other and trying to keep the setting of, or the seasonings away from the wet ingredients. It seems like there's a lot of culinary cock blocking, I guess you could call it. Neat. He's too modest. Yeah. Beanie Bobini says, we don't trust this modest chef fuck anyway. Yeah, I don't think I trust him at all. Maui Girl says, you're doing great, Henry. Thank you. Thanks for the vote of confidence. Okay. You know, that actually, this looks like a real sauce that we're making here. So now we want to add the Worcestershire sauce. And once again, I don't have that, but I have... Computer, can I replace Worcestershire sauce with malt vinegar?
Yes, you can use malt vinegar instead of Worcestershire sauce, though the flavor will be different. Malt vinegar is tangy and slightly sweet, while Worcestershire sauce is more complex with a savory, umami taste. Adjust the amount based on your preference.
Okay, boy, that fly is driving me absolutely apeshit. Or batshit. Or fly shit. Computer, what's worse, apeshit or batshit?
Sorry, what did you say?
I said, what's worse condition, apeshit or batshit? Well, I guess I stopped her in her tracks or something. Does anybody have any theories on what's a worse condition? Hammy X Ham says no comment. Okay. Okay, so that's our tangy malt vinegar, and then we also need now some hot sauce, which is optional. And we're going to combine that. Okay, so we've got some waste paste. wasabi paste, which is hot, right? Computer, would you say that wasabi paste is hot sauce?
I don't know that one.
Well, there's a lot of stuff you don't seem to know, but it turns out to be right. It literally says easy to tear. How can it be easy to tear if I'm a 56-year-old man and I can't figure out how to tear this, and it says easy. 2016. Okay. There's got to be a trick to it. They got to be joking me. Oh, there it is. There's a little tear. Squeeze some waste paste out of there. This stuff is very hot. It's going to add... Ooh, that's going to add some fire. And that's good. That's good stuff, I got to say. Let's go ahead and stir this all up. You know what? This modest chef might actually know what the hell he's talking about here. I think we've got our sauce. John Ladders says, please don't eat wasabi by itself unless you're a pro like Henry. Yeah, I should say that. Please don't do that. It can really mess you up. Is it as hot on the way out? God, I hope not. Okay, well, it looks like our sauce, it says serve with chicken tenders. Computer, can I replace my chicken tenders with Trader Joe's shrimp sticks?
Yes, you can use Trader Joe's shrimp sticks as a tasty substitute for chicken tenders. They're great for snacking or adding to meals, offering a delicious seafood option. Just prepare them according to the package instructions for best results.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we're good. Shirley's Newt says don't try this at home. Yes, please don't. That waste paste is chalky. January 1, 2016. Yeah, I don't know where I picked this stuff up. But that's gonna put hair on your chest. Whatever that expression is. Big fan of Jeff Goldblum. Haven't seen you in a while. It says here, hey Henry, I realized some time ago that Jose Suicidio sounds a lot like Robbie Takak. Do you think he also used to like Black Flag? So I don't know much about Black Flag. Was Black Flag... I thought that was Henry Rollins was the singer, but there's a guy named Robbie Takak also. I don't know, but he probably did. Jose Suicidio likes, as long as the music is real and authentic, it could be anything from Public Enemy to Anne Murray. Shirley's Newt says, isn't Black Flag a pesticide? Oh, is that what you meant? All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and... Computer, how much time left?
You have 1 minute and 10 seconds left on your 9-minute timer.
Okay, we're going to flip over our situation here. I'll show you how I do that. Use a pot holder. It's going to be very hot. I'm just going to flip them, even though it's just a minute early. Whoops. Oh, these smell good. They smell a little bit like Coney Island. Oh shit, I touched 2 of them. I hope the modest chef isn't mad at me. A Viren says, if you consume this dip, please have a Mr. Yuck poison sticker with the phone number ready. Okay. This is hot even through the glove. Computer, how much time left?
You have less than 10 seconds left on your 9-minute timer.
Computer, stop. Computer, set another timer for 9 minutes.
9 minutes, starting now.
Okay, well, we've got our sauce done. I'm going to put some of our spices back. Maui Girl says, we will be raising a white flag after consuming the 2016 wasabi. Yeah, it's chalky. It's not tasty. I don't mind the hot part of it, but it's got kind of a chalky vibe. Computer, should my wasabi paste taste chalky?
Wasabi paste shouldn't taste chalky. It should have a sharp, spicy flavor. If it feels chalky, it might not be fresh or could be mixed with fillers. Try a different brand for the best taste.
Okay, well, I don't think it's going to kill me, but it's too bad that we don't have something that's good. We've got soy sauce, just in case all shit goes bad. Okay, and we've got ketchup as well. We've got a platter here that we're going to use as a serving platter. Put our sauce on that. Some dirty dishes. Our backup condiments. And I don't think I'm going to be using this. What is this? What is this? Does anybody know where this came from? Oh, was this a sauce that came with the shrimp? Oh, I think this is a sauce that came with the shrimp. I should just use that. Fucking get out of here, fly. Yeah, I don't know. All right. Well, let's go ahead and do our song, our thank you song. I like to do a song to thank you, the users of Henry's Kitchen, whether it's the YouTube channel or the Twitch platform or Instagram or any of these other things. I want to thank you. Oh, big fan of Jeff Goldblum says Robbie Takak from the Goo Goo Dolls. He used to sing like, or he used to like Black Flag. No worries. Also, if something tastes chalky, you should see if it sticks to chalkboard. If it doesn't, it should be fine to eat. I've never heard of the chalkboard test, but it sounds right. The top manager says you can have 2 bowls, one with the sauce you made and another with the sauce that came with the shrimp. That's good, except I don't want to waste that. I might use that at a different time. Van Honkerton says, hi Henry, I don't have shrimp from Trader Joe's. Can I substitute with some chicken tendies? I think you could. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I think that's what these are supposed to go with. There was something else. I wanted to check in on our alerts. Yeah, we're still doing okay. So let me go ahead and do a song for you here. This is to thank the Tier 3 subscribers who keep the lights on here, the moderators who do all the work, and the folks that run the Discord, the technical advisors, the big name streamers who've sent audience to us via raids and collaborations, who've also become friends. And this song goes out to all of you for making Henry's Kitchen what it is, whatever that is. Let's put the reverb back. Check. Thanks again to Mimsy Coon for your Tier 3 subscription. I hope you're enjoying, and I just want to thank Beelzebub also for all of the contributions. And don't forget that there's going to be an incredible 4th year anniversary on May the 3rd. And we've just announced that there's a new contest that's going to be, you're going to clip something from Henry's Kitchen. You can find out all about that in the Discord. Computer, how much time left?
You have 4 minutes and 10 seconds left on your 9-minute timer.
Beanie Bobini says, today's stream has been a wild ride. Happy Wednesday, Henry and users. Yeah, happy hump day. It's been a wild ride on the hump. Okay, here we go. This is a thank you to the users. Guitar Joe says, why users? I thought we were Phillips heads. Phillips heads is a great term. I think my friend Brendan Walsh came up with that one. And I don't think it quite caught on. So, but users seems to be working. But, you know, you can call yourself whichever thing. Kitchen heads. Beanie Bobini says copyright infringement. Yeah, it could be that too. Legal. Fawcan and Dingo Bob. Dom Beef Hot Bear 1110. Do Dingle Dog Goggle. Dr. Flanges and Bacchus, and also Shane, yes, Beelzebub. Mochi's Nirvana, it's Kate Kairosa. Bumble Vision and the LGX. Chef Reactions, Husky Boyle, Bill Larkin, Music in the Toilet. Nim, Moon, Emeroo. Orcamind, S-Fan, and Bonnie, too. Dazzle Cat, Blurry Little Quest, and Borsonvin. Nella Parasitosis, don't forget Quanto and Beanie Bobini. D's Nuts, Game Master Flash. Mimsy Coon, the cat food taste tester. The Chironex, Mochi's Nirvana, Red Hot, Hibachi, Ransom GR, Esnitus, and Michelle Heffy. Lacey T, Purple Donut, filling his fruit. Tankard and Borsonvin and Zodiac Tone. Gary Busey, ASMR, Lurk Bowl, and Shandis, Nova Glare, and Mr. Gooseberry VT, and Embry 225, and also Yarchasm, Nico, Tazo, Michael Bublé, 4422, Potato Cat Breeder, and Passion Airman, Ocean 64, Zod Bane, and Toke My Nuts, Dazzle Cat, Midnight Faded, Cassidy Test, Pool Boy 789, JSBX Fan, and Siguaro Ooh. Burrito 55555, Dinosaur JV's Text, Sickly Boy, Beelzebub, Headlips 1, Caitlin's Kitchen, and don't forget Quanto. Thank you, everybody. All of the users, the Phillips heads, kitchen heads, whatever you like to call yourselves. Aviron says, how does he write the lyrics so quickly? You know, they just come to me somehow. I don't know. WikiTBH says, and everyone type Forsen. Yeah, I haven't seen everyone type Forsen in a while. I hope that they're okay. I really do. One of the first users that we had on here. Okay. Beanie Bobini, thank you very much for cheering. I appreciate that. And thanks for all of your work. Diofan, TOS of Sweden. So that's Diofan Terms of Service of Sweden, says Forsen. Pug Lady 2600 says Forsen. Hopeful Equinox. I want to be like Henry when I grow oaf. I don't know if that's a typo or if you really do want to grow oaf. Computer, what does it mean to grow oaf?
From thesaurus.net. To grow old refers to the natural process of aging and progression of
Computer,
time,
just forget it. And computer, stop that crazy timer, please. Why did we even have a timer to begin with? Ian Mania says grow oof. John Ladders, take the shrimp out. What is that? Is that a code for something? Hammy X Ham says, computer sounds a bit more godly. Shramps, Beanie Bo Beanie. Shrimp. Everybody's saying shrimp. Fernoosh. Look in your oven. Oh, shit. What do you... I can't believe I forgot. We've got our shrimp. Oh, boy. These might be too hot to eat. But that's never stopped us before. Okay, well, the best looking part of this, obviously, is the shrimp. But I don't know, I think we could probably take these off the hot thing. And let's go ahead and put this back in the oven. Delicious. What's that? We just got an alert and it said delicious. What is that now? Shirley's Newt. Thank you. What? Shirley's Newt just cheered 1,000 bits. Thank you so much. Shirley's Newt. That is absolutely wonderful. I appreciate that and hope that you're doing well. And thanks for the support here at Henry's Kitchen. The top manager says, what's the comparison picture? Oh yeah, we'll look at that. But anyway, thank you so much, Shirley's Newt. Shirley's Newt, your name is so familiar to me. I can't even figure out from what, but it's like it's a name that I seem to know from my childhood or something. But thank you so much for that generous donation. Big fan of Jeff Goldblum says, how do you find shrimp so prone? Does Trader Joe's have some special process for uncoiling them? I don't know. I think the secret to Trader Joe's is they buy better food for less money and sell to you for a lower price, even in these difficult times. Hopeful Equinox says, computer, do shrimp grow in Joe? Computer, do shrimp grow in Joe?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Avgemonudigotos says, how do we know they de-dookied the dookie veins in the shrimp before they temperaled them? See, that's a great question. Agemonugonatos asks a wonderful question. How do you know that anything that you're eating that's deep fried, like tempura, or if you're eating fish and chips, it looks golden and crisp and lovely, and you might buy it, off some unregulated food truck or some guy on the street, and it might look golden and delicious, but you have no idea what you're eating. You could be eating a fish from several years ago, or like deep fried bacon, for example. If it's got that golden outer crisp on it, that's the cheap part, but you might be eating bacon from years ago. WikiTBH says, does Trader Joe's happen to sell river bison? River bison. Oh, okay. They mean the reverb is on. The reverb is on. I left the reverb on. Sorry about that. Check. Okay, you hear me now? Are we good? Sex Overload says, computer, turn off chat's balls.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Shirley's Newt says, AI programmers are studying Henry's dialogue with the computer as we speak. Yeah, they probably are. And there's some weird ones in there. Okay, here we go. We still have river bison? Check. Okay, it's gone. Thanks, Beanie Bo Beanie. Big fan of Jeff Goldblum says, how can we be sure that the guy who is supposed to remove the dookie vein isn't Manually putting more poop in the shrimp. Okay. Thank you, big fan of Jeff Goldblum. I think we're done talking about the poop. It is a good question, though. Hopeful Equinox says Long John Silver probably have shrimps full of poop. I don't know that. I haven't been there since I was a kid. But I have fond memories of it. Okay, here we go. First, I'm going to try the shrimp by itself, because I want to at least get something out of today. Well, that's delicious. That's delicious. But we didn't make this here at Henry's Kitchen. They prepared that at Trader Joe's. Let's try our dipping sauce. This comes to us from the Modest Chef, who says this is the most badass dipping sauce in the world. I really don't want this to suck. I don't know. I don't know that I tasted it. I guess I might have to use more of it. What did we have? We had ketchup and mayo, onion powder, salt and pepper, garlic powder, Worcester. No, we didn't have Worcestershire. We had a vinegary, malt vinegar, and some very old chalky wasabi. That might be the problem. Chamomile says the mysterious sludge. Wait a page. I don't think it's that bad. I'm not going to say it's the best sauce in the world. I'm going to have to try the sauce all by itself. Whoa. It's tangy and hot and weird. Interesting. Okay. So maybe what I'll do is pour some soy sauce next to it and use that as my sauce. And see how that tastes. That's really good. So, I would say, Eviron says, why not just use the sauce the packet Trader Joe's included? They went through the trouble. No, there's more of these shrimps, so I'll do that another time. Right now, I'm going to be less wasteful, and I'm just going to use this soy sauce, which is really good. So, the soy sauce is good. It comes to us from Lee Kum Kee in Hong Kong. And that's good. And the shrimp is very good. It comes to us from Trader Joe's. This tasted like shit. So we're just not going to use that. But unfortunately, that's the thing that we made here today. And it's not good. It tastes like shit. I don't know. It could be the malt vinegar swap out for Worcestershire sauce, which is supposed to be more of an umami flavor. Umami? Is it? Computer, is it umami?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Caitlin's Kitchen says a new mommy. Camo Meal says the modest chef is just a big liar. Yeah, who is this fucking guy? Talking about how his sauce is the best in the world or whatever. You know, I mean, he looks real cocky anyway. But I'll tell you, if you exclude the sauce, we've got ourselves a very, very nice snack. I'm going to have one more of these shrimps. And I'm going to put this back in the container. And that's going to be a nice snack, maybe for dinner. Neat says he needs to be taken down a peg. Yeah, he sure does. All right, everybody. Well, we made some fried food this afternoon. It tastes a little like Coney Island. It's probably been through all of the inspection processes that go with the FDA and whatever your state government is and county and all that stuff. So I feel good about what we're eating here because I'm not eating that shit that the modest chef told us to make. All right. Well, this tastes like shit, if anybody was wondering. Shirley's new, it said it all started with the mushroom ketchup. Yeah, that was a bad omen. And I'm going to throw away this chalky ass waste paste. All right, everybody. Well, thank you very much for joining us here on Henry's Kitchen. I hope you had a good time. You know, we learned a lot, I think. And I think maybe I'm going to try to do another raid here. Thank you, It's Kate. Thanks, Beelzebub. Everybody's saying today was fun. I really appreciate it. Thanks for your submissions of pictures and your song suggestions. Don't forget, there's a contest going on, and May 3rd, we're going to be doing a full-on 4th anniversary of the Twitch stream here at Henry's Kitchen, and that's going to be very exciting. Thanks, Maui Girl, WTF, Dazzle Cat, Beanie Bobini, RJ Ramrod. I also hope I had a good time, says RJ Ramrod. I think you did. I think you did have a good time. Choromochi says, I just woke up, but it's always nice starting the day with you all. Well, we're going to raid somebody today because I want, since what we made here today tasted like shit, let's go to a cooking show and see if we can get somebody to give us some. Here, Hot Dog Live. So this is live, best street food. Now, I'll just let you know, we're just going to be watching somebody making food on their food truck. They stream it. They're not necessarily going to know that we jumped in, and might not even thank us, and that's okay. But they have 48 viewers, and maybe when they're checking their stats later, that they'll see that we added, I don't know, how many viewers do we have right now? We've got 200 viewers, so let's go ahead and give this person a raid here. Wednesday prep day. Wait, no, that's not it. Following. Hot Dog Live, cooking and selling in real time. So you'll see some customers. It'll be a little like the game that we played. All right, everybody, we're going to do this raid. Thank you very much again for joining us, and I hope to see you on Sunday at noon Pacific time. And we're going to be live or raiding in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you next time.
Text. Thank you, guys. Have a nice weekend. What's up, bro? Good, yourself?